Hello, so this is Rules of the Road Part 2, Seeing While Driving, Intersection, and Roadside Areas. So, seeing while driving. Most of what you do while driving is reaction to what you see. To be a good driver, you need to see well. Seeing well matters. So, looking ahead. Suppose you are the driver looking through the windshield. You are approaching the end of the lane. If you don't change lanes soon, you may have to make a sudden lane change or stop and wait for traffic to clear. In order to avoid last-minute moves, you need to look far enough ahead to see things early. One of the most common mistakes drivers make is to looking in the car in front of the car instead of looking up the road. Expert drivers try to look 10 to 15 seconds ahead. So that's in the city, it's 10 to 15 seconds. It's about one block. On the highway, 10 to 15 seconds is about a quarter of a mile. Looking 10 to 15 seconds also helps you to control the car in another way. When you focus attention about 10 to 15 seconds ahead, it is easier to keep your car on a steady path. Taking in the whole scene. Looking 10 to 15 seconds ahead doesn't mean looking at the middle of the road. It means taking in the entire scene, the sides of the road as well. Scanning the roadside helps you see vehicles and people that may be in the road by the time you reach them. Signs, warning of conditions ahead. Signs giving you information about places ahead and how to reach them. Animals, many cars strike deer, especially in October and November. If you see a deer, sound the horn, look for other deer following. If you look ahead, you'll be able to see important things that you can't see later on, such as someone getting into a parked car. The door might be open again, or the car might move into your lane right ahead of you. Looking to the sides. Anytime you come to a place where other vehicles or pedestrians may cross or enter your path, look to the sides to make sure no one is coming. These places include intersections, roadside areas, crosswalks, and other railroad crossings. Intersections. An intersection is any place where roads meet, so that one line of traffic meets or crosses another. It includes cross streets and side streets, freeway entrances, driveway, and shopping center entrances. Here are some rules to follow anytime you approach an intersection. So this is it. You want to look both ways. To look to the left first because vehicles coming to your left are closer to you. Look to the right, and then take one more look back to the left before you pull out. Make sure you look both ways even when you cross a one-way street. Someone might be going the pull before you pull out, just in case. Don't rely on traffic signals. At an intersection, you look left and right. Even if other traffic has a red light or stop sign, someone may run either one. Make sure you have a good view. If your view of a cross street is blocked by trees, edge forward slowly until you can see. If a line of cars in one lane is blocking your view of another lane, wait until the cars move. If you try to look by edging in the front of your car into the other lane, you may get hit. So, roadside areas. Whenever there is a lot of activity along the side of the road, there's a good chance that someone will cross or enter. Therefore, it is very important to look to the sides when you are near shopping centers and parking lots, construction areas, busy sidewalks, playgrounds, schoolyards and parks, lawn and garage sales. So this sign is a school sign over here, the one with people walking across the road. A 5-sided sign means you are in a school zone and must slow to 15 miles during recess or when children are going to or leaving school during school opening and closing hours, an hour before and an hour after the beginning of school day, and an hour before and an hour after the end of the school day, or when school speed limit signs are flashing during school opening or closing hours. So crosswalks. Crosswalks are special areas set aside for people to cross the street. They are often marked with yellow or white lines. They may be warning signs. Most crosswalks are at intersections, but sometimes they are in the middle of a block. Be alert for school crossing in the country as well as in town. You must stop when the school crossing guard directs you. And remember to always yield the right of way to any school children crossing the street. Stop lines. Stop lines are usually painted on the roadway at a distance from the intersection to give pedestrians a walkway in front of stopped cars. Stop your car before the painted stop lines. When you're turning a corner, watch for people who are about to cross the street. Remember, if you're in a green light, the light must also be green for them. You must wait for pedestrians in a crosswalk, marked or unmarked. A person who is blind or visually impaired may use a white cane as a means for safe and independent travel. This may also be led by a guide dog. In either case, this person always has the right of way. If you see anyone in the road with a white cane or a guide dog, stop at least 10 feet away and wait for the person is out of danger. An operator who fails to yield right away to visually impaired pedestrian is liable for a traffic infraction with a minimum $50 and a maximum $1,000 fine. So this one is on looking behind and when you're changing lanes, also cross, So looking behind, check your mirror often for traffic behind you every 6 to 8 seconds. This will help you this way you will find out if someone is following too closely or coming up too fast. You will still have time to do something about it. Additionally, you will know how much space you need behind the car. You need to look behind you whenever you slow down quickly, back up, or drive down a long or steep hill. When you change lanes. Whenever you change lanes, give the correct signal and look over your shoulder in the direction you are about to move to make sure you do not get in the way of a vehicle that is already there. Never rely solely on your rearview mirrors. So this means changing lanes. This includes from one lane to another, entering a freeway or a highway from an entrance lane, entering the roadway from the curb or shoulder. So here are some important things to do when you check behind you. Glance in your rearview mirrors and side mirrors. Make sure that nobody is preparing to pass you. Look over your left or right shoulder. Look on the side you want to move. Be sure no one is near the left or right rear corner of your car. These areas are called blind spots because you cannot see them through the mirrors. You have to turn your head back and look. Be alert for motorcycles and bicyclists. Check quickly. Do not take your eyes off the road for more than an instant. The vehicle ahead of you could stop suddenly when you are checking behind. No matter what kind of car you have or how well you adjust your mirrors, there is still a blind spot. Never rely solely on your mirrors. It is the car you don't see that is the most dangerous. Check all lanes. Someone in another lane may plan to move into the same spot you do. Always signal when you intend to do at least 100 feet before making a change. So, railroad crossings. A round yellow sign with a black diagonal cross gives warning 350 to 500 feet ahead of a railroad crossing. A black lettered white cross marks shows the number of tracks if more than one. Look both ways as you're approaching a railroad crossing. Be alert for buses, school buses, tank trucks that must stop at all railroad crossings. If you have to stop in heavy traffic, stop before the tracks, not on them. Slow down, look both ways. Even if the warning sign is not flashing, it may not be working. If red lights are flashing, stop at least 100 feet from the crossing and wait until they go out or until you see that the way is clear in both directions. Do not drive around any railroad crossing gate or barrier. If you stopped at a railroad crossing where there is more than one set of tracks, don't start as soon as the train passes. Wait until you have a clear view down the track in both directions before you start across. Another train could be coming from the other direction. Don't shift a manual transmission while crossing the railroad tracks. Being in gear gives you better control on an uneven surface. Tracks marked exempt are not in use, but may be in use. Check all tracks regardless of these signs. Whew. Why did I have to make this lettering so small? Sorry about that. Right now, the video seems to be trying to catch up, so I might just take a quick pause as soon as it lets me. Come on, catch up. So, here we are. It caught up. So, when you slow down suddenly, look in your mirrors quickly before you slow down or stop. It is very important to do this when you Slow down suddenly. Here are some situations when you need to check behind before slowing. When you slow down for something in the road ahead that the driver behind you cannot see. For example, you come around a corner and see a car stalled in the middle of the road. When you are preparing to turn into a side road or driveway, or when you are stopped to pull into a parking space. When you back up, backing is dangerous because it is hard for you to see behind your car. Whenever you have to back your car, check behind the car before you get in. Children or small objects are hard to see from the driver's seat. The best way to check is to turn your shoulder and head to the right so that you can look directly into the through the rear view window. So not depend solely on your mirrors. Back slowly. Your car is much harder to control and to stop while you are backing. Back no faster than a slow walk. Because it is hard to see while you are backing, try to do as little backing as possible. Avoid backing into traffic when you enter a driveway or parking space. Back into it unless signs forbid it. That way, you'll be going forward when you pull out. When you are going down a long or steep hill, check your mirrors. Drivers, trucks, and buses often try to build up speed so that they can make it to the top of the next hill. If you see them early, you can change lanes. Having clear windows and mirrors, the 3 sections before this one tell you where to look. This section and the next 3 will tell you how to have a clear view wherever you are looking. By law and for safety's sake, you must be able to see clearly through the windows, windshield, and mirrors. To see clearly, you should keep the windshield clean. Bright sun or headlights on a dirty windshield make it hard to see. Carry a rag so that you can stop and clean your windshield anytime it needs it. Keep the washer bottle full. However, do not use washers on very cold day. The mixture may freeze on the windshield. That's why they have winter formula here in Maine. Smoking while driving causes a film to build up on the glass inside the car. Clean the inside of the windows frequently if you smoke. Clear snow, ice, or frost from all windows and head and tail lights before you start to drive. Don't hang from the mirror or clutter the windshield with decals. Anything in the car that blocks the driver's vision is against the law. So, adjusting your seat and mirrors. Adjust the seat so that you are high enough to see the road. If the seat is too low, use a seat cushion. Do not move the seat so far forward that you can't steer properly. If you have an airbag, you should be at least 12 to 15 inches away from the steering wheel. Adjust the rear view and side mirrors before you start. In heavy traffic, when you really need them, you won't have time to adjust. If you have a day/night mirror, use it to guard against glare from the headlights or cars behind you. Seeing well at night. It is harder to see things at night than during the daytime, but you can do some things to help you see better. Use the high beams whenever there are no oncoming vehicles, nor vehicles close ahead. High beams let you see twice as far as low beams. Be sure to use high beams on unfamiliar roads and construction areas or where there may be people alongside the road. When a vehicle equipped with multiple beam road lights approaches an oncoming vehicle within 500 feet or follows a vehicle within 300 feet, the operator shall dim the headlights or switch to low beam and shall turn off a fog auxiliary light. Use low beams in fog, snow, or heavy rain. Light from high beams reflects back from such precipitation and causes glare. If a vehicle comes towards you with high beams on and fails to dim the light, slow down and look toward the right side of the road. This will keep you from being blinded by the other car's headlights. You should also be able to see enough of the edge of the lane to stay on the course until the car passes. Do not try to get back at the other driver by keeping your bright lights on. If you do, both of you will be blinded. So wearing glasses. If you wear glasses or contact lenses, always wear them or when you drive. Keep an extra pair of glasses in the car in case your regular glasses are broken or lost. Avoid using dark glasses at night. They cut down the light to make it hard to see. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.